Hey guys, welcome to the channel and welcome back to another video. Glad to be here. Glad to be back at you guys. What we're talking about today is going to be 40 years old and want to win with money. Here's what you need to know. We're going to have part one today. We're going to get back with you guys next week and do a part two next week. But today, what we're talking about is we're talking about the simple idea that if you're 40 years old or older, or if you're 35, we'll take you. If you're 35, we'll take you in here today. If you're 35 or 40 years old and older and you want to win with money, I'm going to give you some things that you need to be thinking about, things you need to know if you want to win with money and you're older. See, a lot of times, guys, what we talk about, what we see on the internet, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, you name it, right? Is we see people that are younger, right? We see the young, the 20, the 15, the 20, the 25-year-olds, out here making money and out here, things explained for them and but there's not a whole lot for us that are a little bit older, right? A little bit older. What type of information and stuff do we need? Sometimes nobody's talking to the 40-year-old crowd who's, people between 35 and 55 years old, right? So that's what we want to kind of hit on today. What are some things you need to know if you plan on winning with money, right? If you want to win with money and you plan on winning with money, what do you need to know? Do me a favor as you come in here, guys, smash the like button. If you're on YouTube, if you're on LinkedIn, welcome. If you're on IG, welcome. If you're on Facebook, welcome. And if you're over here on YouTube, welcome. Appreciate you guys being here. Salute Jay Samuels in the house. Good to hear from you from Baltimore. Let's see here. Philly suburbs. Let me know where you're coming in from, guys. What city, what state, what country, what county, what hemisphere, what continent, what galaxy, right? No, but let me know where you're coming in from, guys. What city or state you're in. I'm in the middle of America, but sometimes we get folks in here, as I say, from all over the world to have this conversation about money because money is sort of a universal thing, right? Money is not just American, right? You live in Brazil, you use money. If you live in the UK, you use money. You live in South Africa, you use money. You live in Thailand, right? You use money. So money is sort of a universal thing. We have these conversations about money. We always get people from all over the world. So I'm glad to have you guys. North Carolina, Elizabeth City, check it in. What county is that, Daryl? Let's see. Southern Cal is here. British Columbia is in the house. Langley, British Columbia. Good to have you here. Savannah, Georgia. You can't say Georgia just saying Georgia. You got to say Georgia, right? Let's see here. Somebody said Atlanta. Yep, we saw that. Because I'm now paying off debt. Congratulations, Daryl Cherry, on paying off the debt and getting that snowball working, right? Columbus, Ohio in the house. Phoenix, Arizona in the house. Good afternoon. Checking in from Boynton Beach, Florida. 36 years old. RC. Good to have you. Puscontatunk. I can't say it, Daryl. Let's see. Dominican Republic in the house. Austria is here. I told you we get them from all over the world. Europe, South Africa. I'm sorry, Europe, Africa, Asia, South America, all over. Pennsylvania's in the house. Good to have you, Larry, as well. Let's see here, guys. So let's have the conversation, the grown folks conversation about money. Northern Virginia checking in. Good to have you, Gary Rogers. But let's have the grown folk conversation. And when I say grown folks conversation, listen, if you're 21 years old, you're welcome. We don't mind you being here, right? I don't mind you being here. But this conversation is really for the 30, 35, 40, 50-year-old person who wants to win with money. And I'm going to give you some things that you got to keep in mind, right? Some things you got to keep in mind. I got 7 of them I'm going to give you today. Now, next week, next Saturday, I'm going to give you 7 more, all right? So don't forget, guys, if you're over on YouTube, let me see. I don't think I put anything there yet, but I'm going to put some stuff down in the description box that's free for you to check out. No issue. You can just go there and click on this and click on that, and you can engage in some free stuff that I have for you, right? 24 laws of money and all kind of stuff. Free ebook and all that type of stuff will be there for you in the description. All right. I'm going to actually put it over there right now. Give me 2 seconds here, guys, and we're going to jump into this conversation about money. Money, and personal finances. Very important. And I don't mean to, like I said, I don't mean to box anybody out by saying this is going to be a grown folks conversation. But on the other hand, Conversations are about money are a little bit different when you've been through some stuff with money. Let's just keep it 100, right? When you've been through some stuff with money and you've experienced some stuff with money, the conversation about money becomes a little bit different. It hits a little bit different. I think is what they say nowadays, right? It it really does, right? It just kind of you birth a few kids and you've pushed some key or you got some teenagers or you push some kids out the house and now you're coming back or you foreclosed on something or maybe you didn't foreclose on something but perhaps you made some mistakes with money. I mean real mistakes with money. When you've made some real mistakes with money in your life and you look back, things are a little different than if you're 25 years old and you never made a mistake with money or you just now handling money, right? Things are a little bit different, right? This is for grown people who have produced the babies, got fired from a job, right? Bounced a check or two before accidentally, right? You pay bills, you run a household, right? Things are a little bit different. If you've lived long enough to make mistakes with money, let's talk about it, right? Here's what you need to know. That's why I said 40 years and up in the title. But hey, if you're 35, that's cool. It's understandable. Come on in. You're welcome. If you're 21, you can come on in and check out, but you might want to just listen to this conversation. Okay. You don't have to really go in and you can't really say anything if you're 21. You can just listen to what everybody's trying to say and tell you and talk about. Let's see. Minnesota's in the house. Nashville, Mike, good to have you. 80s baby. Daryl, you understand what we're talking about then. Daryl's a grown man. That's all right. Let's see. How's it going, boss? Good to have you fire, Mike. Good to have you in here. Prince George County, PG County up in Bmore. 61 years old. Sharon, good to have you. Let's see. Sherman, Texas, checking in. Good to have you as well, bud. All right. So again, let's jump into it. I don't want to belabor the point. I know I had a long intro, but some people beat me up about the long intro because this is sort of a show as opposed to just conversation, right? I like to introduce myself. I didn't introduce myself, but I like to get to know the audience a little bit before we get going, right? That's kind of why I do that, because I want to know where everybody's from, right? I love maps and, learn about different cultures. But anyway, let's talk about these 7 things that grown folks need to know about money. Part 1, if you want to win with money. I'm going to give you, this may jog the way you think about money. And look, you ain't got to agree with everything I say. I don't run that type of ship. Look, you don't have to agree with me. I don't agree with most people in the world on 100% of everything happening or what they say, but just a matter of respect is always good. All right. Trinidad and Tobago, good to have you. All right. Number 1 is this. What you need to know if you're over 40 years old about, and you plan to win with money or you're about to win with money, is that listen to me very closely, guys. And you know this. Everybody is not interested in your success with money. Everybody is not interested in you doing well with your money. That's why you got to stay humble. Don't think that everybody's going to be happy for you when you start winning with money. You must know this, right? There's people that is sitting on the sideline waiting for you to fail with your money, waiting for you to make a mistake with your money, waiting for something to go wrong with your money. Everybody is not interested in you being successful with money. There's going to be people, when you start winning with money, there's going to be people who you thought was going to be on your side and happy for you and pushing you and yay, go, you got it. Yes, you can do this, girl. You can do this, man. Yes, whatever. You thought they were going to be pushing for you, but they're not. There's going to be people that are happy with you and like you when you're in the dirt and in the valley with them. But when you start climbing the mountain of financial success, they're going to look at you and tell you that you think you're all that. You think you're better than us. I don't know why she does that. I don't know why he does that, holding all his money. And why is he doing that? Why is he saving all that money? Why are you saving? Who do you think you are? You will have people around you that do that. Not everybody, but most of us will. Because we have an idea that, okay, I'm going to change the way I do things with money. I'm going to do it this way, and everybody's going to be happy for me. That ain't going to happen. Maybe it could be your family members, somebody close to you, a longtime friend, who knows? But you just got to keep in mind that everybody is not going to, that some people are going to think you're better just because you want to do something different with your money. You may have to cut off some friends when it comes time for you to start winning with money, right? Now this is grown folk talk, because this is, you have to have experienced some things to understand what I'm saying. Some of you may have seen this already. You start doing stuff different with your money, and next thing you know, those people don't want to hang with you no more, or those people are talking behind your back about you, right? Unfortunately, that does happen, guys. Unfortunately, you you sort of got to have, when you start winning with money, nobody really tells you this, but let me explain this to you. You got to sort of have thick skin. You got to sort of have thick skin when you plan to do stuff different with your money and you start moving up with your money and you are doing things different. You don't want to go to the club, right? You don't want to go and do something, spend frivolously on. You don't want that $1,000 purse like everybody else. You don't want the red bottom shoes like everybody else. You're working. You don't want, people are not always interested in you winning with money, and they certainly don't want to hear about it. So that's why you have to be, when you start winning with money, you got to be kind of humble. You can't be out there, yeah, look what, hey, guess what? The stock market went up, girl. I made $1,000. They not winning. And if they not winning, they ain't trying to really care too much about seeing you win. I'm just being honest with you. That's why we're trying to have this conversation where we're not really faking the funk, right? We're not really playing and joking and being light. We being real about it, right? You got to have thick skin when you pull yourself up from nothing, and now you have something. Because a lot of the people that was down in the dirt with you, they ain't where you at financially. And people get jealous, people get envious, people get upset, mad. You got to watch yourself. And you can't be all stuck in your feelings and get upset at every time somebody doesn't cheer for you the way you thought they would cheer for you. Right? Especially if you stay in contact with the same people. Right? You start winning and you stay in contact with the same people you was losing with 5 years ago. That's where the problem comes in sometime. I'm not telling you to leave your friends. I'm just telling you, truthful speaking, this is what happens. Right? Sometimes nobody really talks about, what happens when you start. What happens when you all of a sudden your net worth is $100,000, or all of a sudden your net worth is $500,000. All of a sudden you're a millionaire, and you still got the same friends who are struggling paycheck to paycheck. That's difficult. As a person that has money, you got to begin to navigate that. Right? Some people think money solves all problems. Right? Right. Some people, think that money is it. Money is everything. Money is the whole kit and caboodle, right? It doesn't. Money solves money problems, but money ain't everything. So there's much more problems than just money problems, right? When you don't have no money, you think solving money problems is going to solve all your problems. Of course, we know that's not the case, and we talk about that all the time on this channel because this is smart money, bro. That means we don't put money on a pedestal. It means we don't worship money. Means we don't worship the people who have the most money. And that's what happens when you start worshiping money, right? We worship money, and then what happens is we worship the people who have most of the money, and then we start doing things for money that we wouldn't normally do. We're out of character, and we start doing things for money because we're worshiping the money and worshiping the people, and that's what we don't want to do. That's one thing you don't want to do. So be careful about that when you start winning with money. Some people are going to look at you and be envious of you. Some people are going to look at you and be jealous of you. Some people are going to be waiting on you to fail, right? But just keep in mind to be humble when you make money, when you have money. You don't have to be out there splurging and flashing and showing. One thing, you put yourself in danger because people are hurting out here. People are hurting, and they will hurt you for what you got. We having grown folks conversation in here, guys. Grown folks conversation about money. Okay. If you want to win with 40 years old and up and you want to win with money, here's what you need to know about winning with money over 40 years old. Everybody don't care. So stay humble. Right? Keep it low key. Fire Mike in the house. I appreciate the Super chat, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you more than you know, Fire Mike. I appreciate that. Big Ward is checking in from Dakar, from Qatar. How do they say that? They don't say it like Qatar. Good afternoon, Mia from Atlanta. Good to have you. Let's see here. Fire Mike said, "Keep it up, man. People in Minnesota need to hear this." Yeah, I think people across the world need to hear this. Appreciate the super chat again, Fire Mike. So that's number one. That's the first thing. The second thing you need to know if you want to win with money and you're over 40 years old is that the best things in life cost, but they don't always cost money. Just because you start winning with money doesn't mean that you can use your money to get everything, right? The best things in life don't really cost money. They cost something, but they don't cost money. Money won't get you in every door. Again, stay humble, low key, right? Money won't get you every perk you think it'll get you. Money won't cure all the isms. Make sure you understand that too. Just because you have money, it doesn't erase sexism, ageism, racism. All those things will persist even though you have money, and people let you in the door a little bit here and there when you have money, but it won't cure all the isms, right? But that's all good, right? And okay, because I truly believe that the best things in life really don't cost money. They don't cost money. I know you're probably saying that's a funny thing to say for somebody that calls himself smart money bro, but that's the reason I'm smart with money, bro, because I put money in its proper position, right? The things that put the biggest smile on your face, and only you a 21-year-old might not understand what I'm telling you. 25-year-old may not understand it, but if they do, they should listen in and get this information. If you're old enough and you've been around some stuff, you understand exactly what I'm saying. The things that put the biggest smile on your face cannot be purchased with money. Think about that for a second. We all trying to get money, but the most important things in life don't even cost money. It's an illusion. And we bought the illusion that says, I got to have more money, more money, more money because money equals happiness. It don't. Reflect on that in your own life and think back. And if you're grown, right, you can relate to me. What's the greatest gift you ever got in your life that you still remember? The greatest gift that you was ever afforded or given that you received, right? Or what was a great word that was spoken and you heard it and it changed your life, right? Or think about the feeling you felt when you accomplished something that you didn't think you could do. See, all of those things, they don't cost money. And they're the best things in life that we remember, right? So I'm just trying to get this across because a lot of times we get tired. We start watching these money videos on YouTube and we get tired. We get so tied into the money that we forget the big picture of life. Right? We just worried about the money, the money. How can I make more money? How can I get more money? Give me that side hustle. Give me that side gig. I need to work more hours. Tell me about how to get money. How do I invest my money? How do I double my money? But we don't understand that there's more important things in life than just money. The best things in life do not cost you money as you reflect on your own life, right? It's either somebody gave you a word that changed your life or somebody gave you I have grandkids, so when a grandkid gives me something that they put their heart into and they drew something at school or something like that, and they give it to me, that gift is way more precious than anything money can buy. Guarantee you. Again, if you're a grown person, you understand what I'm saying. See, the best things in life don't cost money. They may cost some time. They may even cost some energy. They may be free, right? But you gotta be grown to get that, right? I'm not excluding you if you're under 30 years old. I'm not excluding you. I'm just telling you, hear what we're saying. Hear what we're saying. People in the chat can vouch for what I'm saying. Good to have you, Eagles Chick in Western Massachusetts. Let's see here. T-Bone 21. I'm glad you're here. Smart Money Bro. Kimmy from San Antonio. Good to have you here with the Riverwalk down there. Miss Reynolds. Yes, be thankful, and yeah, don't be a target. Happy Saturday to you too, Tab, Nebraska. Good to have you here. Mensarosa. Good to have you here as well. Thank you for being a member of the channel. Glad you're here as well. Let's see. Connections put the smile on the face. Absolutely, Chris. I totally agree. Right? Let's jump to number three. Well, let me see. Okay, that's the truth. Good. Boom, boom, boom. I like to read the chats a little bit as I go. Time is definitely worth more money. Worth more than money. Absolutely. Let's see. You can always get more money. Can't get more time. There will always be isms with everything, even if you have all the money in the world. Deanna said. True, Deanna. Good morning to you, person on Facebook. Good to have you here. All right, let's jump to number three. This is grown folks talk about money. If you are over the age of 40 years old and up, 35, we'll take you 35 and up. You get what I'm saying? And you want to win with money? These are things you got to keep in mind and got to know. This is part one. Part two is next week. Okay. Number three is this. You've got to take responsibility for your actions with money. And you got to take responsibility for your inactions with money. So not just what you do with money, but what you choose not to do with money is all on you, right? It's not just about your actions. It's about your inaction, the fact that you didn't do anything, the fact that you could have invested in NVIDIA at $150 per share, and now it's up at $600, $700, $800 per share. You didn't act. You're responsible. Nobody but you, right? Responsibility is power. Is power. Responsibility is your dignity. Responsibility is your strength. The people that tell you it's not your responsibility are the people that want you to be weak, because responsibility equals power. If you don't take responsibility for your money, you are weak by default. You're automatically weak. If you don't take this goes for money and this goes for life. Right? If you are let's bring it home. If you're a man and you have children and you don't take care of your children, you're responsible for that. Right? You are responsible for that. And if you don't take responsibility, you are weak by default. I'm just being honest with you. This flows from money to life to relationships, you name it. It flows everywhere. Right? Because I found, frankly, guys, that a lot of times how people are with their money tends to trickle down to other areas of their life. Don't beat me up. Don't beat me up, whatever you do. I'm just trying to be honest with you, right? Have a good, honest conversation with you. But when it comes specifically to your money, you got to make sure you're responsible. And if you don't take responsible, you've lost your power because it's this. If you don't take responsibility, you're pretty much voluntarily handing over power to whatever it is that you're blaming it on. This is why on this channel, guys, we don't blame. We know that things are going on in the world. We know that there's things going on that we can't control. Inflation, right? What the Fed decides to do with the Fed funds rate, I have no control over. What mortgage rates are going to be in 1 year, I have no control over. You know, as I said, the isms that are out there, I have no control over. They're out there. Right? But if I start blaming my money on everything else, then I just gave my power to everything else. Whatever or whoever you blame is who you are voluntarily assigning power to. And every time you hand over power or blame, you're becoming weaker and weaker and weaker. Right? Because now who is going to fix your problem if you blame other people? It can't be you, because you can't fix it. You blamed everybody else. It's everybody else's fault. So I can't fix my money situation. It's the weather. It's the president. It's the mayor. It's the whatever. It's inflation. I can't do anything. It's inflation's fault. It's big corporations' fault that I don't handle my money correctly. You see how odd that sounds? You're just handing over power to somebody else to fix your problem. That is the problem with not taking responsibility for your money, for your personal finances. Never assign someone else or something power over your money situation. Gladly take the responsibility so that you can gladly fix it. And you can gladly devise a plan to change it. Because if you don't take responsibility, it means you can't change it. And if you can't change it, it leaves you weak and powerless. Right? I told you, grown folks talk about money right here. And if you're over 35, 40 years old, you understand what I'm saying, right? Up until you about 20, 25 years old, up until you're about 20, 25 years old, you don't have a lot of stuff. You're pretty much going off what you were taught and what you grew up, what you learned. But when you get over 20, 25 years old, it's time for you to take personal responsibility. Now it's on you. Okay, 0 to 18, it was on your parents. 0 to 21, it was on your parents. Now it's on you, right? If you're 50 years old and you have no money, that's because you have no money. You devised the plan, or you followed a plan, a footprint in life that led you to where you are. Period. If you're 50 years old and you have a couple of $1,000,000 because you worked hard, you saved everything, that's on you too. The good and the bad, not just the bad, right? If you did something good with money, that's on you. Look at the person in the mirror. This is the biggest thing that anybody. So if you want to clip some of this video and send it out to a 21-year-old, send them number 3. Take full responsibility for your actions and your inactions with money. If you learn to do that, you're going to be empowered with your money. You are going to win with your money, right? Let's see here from Charlotte, North Carolina. Easy. Spelled, is that easy? Let's see. Say it twice. Eagles chick. Good. Here from Charlotte, North Carolina. Good. That's always what time counts more than money. Absolutely. From Facebook. From Mexico, listening on from Big Island, Hawaii. Good to have you here. Let's see. My friend always says, if I only known the video was going to go up so high, but right. We all can look back and say that we made mistakes and so forth, right? Throwing out pearls. Let's see here. Good. Give me some good stock picks. Let's see. So that's number 3 is responsibility. And it's hard. Trust me, guys. I know, especially as you get older, it's hard to look in that mirror and just face the elephant in the room. And you are that elephant in the room, right? Your decision making, your choices are the elephant in the room. That's what led you to be where you are right now. But that's the beauty of responsibility is this. Yeah, it's your fault. But yeah, you're going to be the one to fix it. See, because the beauty of responsibility is that if it's not your fault, you can't fix it. But if it is your fault, you got the power to do something about it. That's the beauty of taking full responsibility. That's why it's so powerful. That's why there's strength in responsibility, right? And I tell this to everybody, right? If I have a young African-American black male in front of me, I say, look, it's nobody's fault but yours. You got to take responsibility. It's up to you. It's not up to anybody else. Stop worrying about the ism of racism. Please stop worrying about that. Don't let that consume you, because it will consume you. You got to take responsibility regardless. You can't change the color of your skin. You can't, right? So you got to do something about it. Stop being weak and letting other people control you. You control what you do. Your personal responsibility is your power. Don't forget that. Number 4. Let's go to number 4. I got went on a tangent on that one. I apologize, but hey, that one gets me hyped up, right? Gets me hyped up. Number 4 is this, the 4th thing, and this is for grown folks when we're talking about adults, people over the age of 40, and you want to win with money. You want to win with money. We'll do maybe a little Q&A at the end, but when you want to win with money, number 4 is very important. You got to learn to tell yourself no. Please, you got to learn to tell yourself no if you want to win with money. Listen, if you don't care about winning with money, that's cool. Not a big deal. You can have no self-control if you want, but you got to control you. You got to control self. You got to delay gratification. You have to be at the point where you practice discipline regularly. 30-day rule. I'm not going to touch and go by that for 30 days. Let me see if I need it again after 30, or 5-day rule, 10-day rule, whatever you want to call it. That is very important as you get older, because listen to me, guys, when you get 40, 45, 50, you are entering into the years in your work life where you're going to be making more money than you've ever made in your life. More money is going to be coming to you at age 45 and age 50 as you get older. You have to be the person that just because you make more don't mean you got to spend a whole lot more. Just because you make more doesn't mean you got to go out and get the brand new $40,000 car because you never had it. This is what happens to a lot of us. I came from poverty, very impoverished. And so a lot of people that grow up poor, they tend to overcompensate when they actually get some money. They say, oh man, I'm 45 years old, just got that new job. Man, now I'm making six figures. Like that's I'm making six figures. I'm making $150,000 a year. Let me go buy that. But you don't necessarily have to do that. You got to be able to have self-control as you start to make more money as you get older. See, this is why this is grown folks talk, because a 21-year-old won't really understand what I'm saying. But if you're 50 years old, you'll get what I'm saying. If you're 45 years old, you'll understand you're making more money now. How do you handle that? Right? We have a lot of talk on the internet about how to make money, but we don't have very much talk about what to do when you start making money. Right? So when you start making money, chill out. Tell yourself no. Start practicing discipline. Right? Again, there shouldn't be an Amazon person at your door dropping off a package once a day. Chill out. Yeah, you got a little extra money. And trust me, it's tough when you have extra money. And listen, your whole demeanor changes when you walk into the store with $100 bill and you know you can buy anything, or $200 or $300, $400, $1,000 in your pocket, and you know you can buy anything, or $1,000 in your bank account, 2,000, 5,000 of discretionary income in your bank account. You walk into a store much different. And if you know what I'm talking about, let me know in the chat section, guys, in the comments. You things are different when you have money. And when you get to be 45 and 50 years old and 55 years old and you have a little bit of extra cash, or you did something, you started a business, all of a sudden your business is booming and now you're making a lot of money, right? Or you have access to $175,000 that's sitting in your 401k, or you have access to $700,000 that is sitting in your 403b. You act a little different. You change. Your mindset is different. You walk with there's a little bit different stride in you, right? When you know you got $40,000 in emergency funds sitting in the bank that you can tap into to buy anything you want if you wanted it. Just keeping it real, right? You're not going to feel that feeling when you're 25 or 30. You may feel that feeling when you're 45 or 50, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, right? But you got to be able to tell yourself no. Self-control, delayed gratification. It's a wealthy principle, but you got to practice it. Number 5, let's go to number 5 real quick. Number 5 is this. As you get older, listen and learn from other people's mistakes if you want to win with money. You don't have to bump your head, smash your toe, burn your finger just to learn something about money. Listen and learn from others. I made mistakes. You don't have to make my mistakes if you understand what I tell you, don't do. Take my mistakes, and I got plenty of them, and use them to learn from. I talk about, buying a car with 22% interest one time, right? Back in the late 80s, I bought a brand new car, only brand new car I ever bought. I had 22% interest and didn't have any air conditioner because I had to choose between the air conditioner and the AM/FM stereo cassette radio, factory radio. And I chose the radio instead of the air conditioner. Silly me. And 22% interest on a brand new car when I was 18 years old. Not smart. Not smart, right? I talked about keeping student loans around for 31 years. Did you hear what I said? I had student loans for 31 years. That's a mistake, but I own it. I made the mistake, right? But don't make the same mistake I make. Because a lot of things I talk about on here, I talk about them because I've made those mistakes. Let me help you not make my mistakes. So listen and learn from others, right? Take my mistakes or the mistakes you hear from other people and learn. Don't feel like you have to make your own mistakes and bump your head. You're going to make your own mistakes anyway, right? But you've got to be at the point where you say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Let me stay away from that, right? It's like anything. You don't have to experience it to learn from it, right? Let me go to number 6. We're going to have a little Q&A and we'll check the chat. But number 6 is this. And I've given you some jewels here, guys. This is and I'll recap in a minute. Number 6 is this. Your net worth, as you get older, you gotta get this. Your net worth is more important than your income, right? What is net worth? Assets minus liabilities equal net worth. Your income is just something you get every year. You can't take it with you. I mean, you can't take it. You can't leave it for anybody when you go. Nothing. It's just income, right? You can make $200,000 a year and still be poor. You can make $300,000 a year and be living paycheck to paycheck. Okay. Your income is not the most important thing. There's people that make half the money you make and have more money than you. There's people that you make $100,000 a year. There's people making $75,000 a year, $50,000 a year that really have a higher net worth than you. Why is that? Because it's not what you earn, it's what you burn. It's not what you earn, it's what you burn. It's not what you get, it's what you keep and invest. It's not what you get, it's what you keep and invest. Right? Now, what's the difference? The difference is expenses. So it's not what you keep, but how are you controlling self-control, delayed gratification, your expenses, right? How are you controlling what you're burning through, the money you're burning through? Some people will make $1 million in their lifetime, won't keep none of it, be broke. Some people will make $1 million in their lifetime and have $500,000 at the end of it. Some people will make $1 million in their lifetime and have $5 million at the end of it. Because it's not what you earn. Your income is not as important as you think. Your income is not as important as your net worth. What is your net worth? If you had to sell everything today, what would the end result be? 50,000. This is okay. The net worth statement is a rude awakening for most people over 40, over 45. It's a rude awakening when we put your stuff on paper. I do one-on-ones with people, right? There's a link to that in the description box below. I do one-on-ones with people. And when I do one-on-ones, we get on a Zoom call. And on the Zoom call, we sit and have conversations, and I will share my screen and I will put up a spreadsheet that's blank, and we will go through the spreadsheet and we'll write down all your assets and all your liabilities. 90% of the people that I've done that to, that I've done that with, and I've done it with hundreds, 90% of them have not done that exercise. They don't know their net. Most people don't know their net worth. They got an idea. I think I owe this. I'm not sure. But most people don't even know that. Most people know their income. Oh, yeah, I make $50,000 a year. I make $48,000 a year. I make 100. But they don't know their net worth. Listen, if you pass away today, your income goes away. Your net worth gets a chance to live on through your kids and grandkids and nieces and nephews, whoever you pass it on to. So your net worth is more important. That tells the real story of how you're doing financially, not your income. The income is a facade. The income is a fallacy. It's just sitting there. It's not as important as you think. I've met people that make $40,000 a year that have a $500,000 net worth, and I've met people that make $300,000 a year and have a $50,000 net worth. So you got to get to the point when you get 40 years old or older, and you get into the point where you're almost to the end of life, and you're not at the end of life, right? But 40 years old is like halftime to me, right? Halftime of a 4-quarter game. 40 years old is like halftime, and now you got to come out swinging at 45 and 50. You got to come out playing in that third quarter, right? You got to score some points. You maybe made some adjustments when you was 35 or 40 years old in your life and how you think about money. Now you got to come out swinging. In the third quarter after 40 years old. The first thing you got to do is figure out, be honest with yourself. Excuse me. Where are you in terms of your personal finances and your net worth? Have you figured it? Have you put it on paper? Do you have it on a tab on a spreadsheet? Or do you have it in a notebook? Right? Where is it? What's your worth on paper? And then as you're 40 and 50 years old, your goal is to increase those assets, decrease those liabilities. Increase those assets, decrease those liabilities, right? I'm not saying you got to live like a pauper, but I'm telling you that you need to be concentrating and focused, because when you focus on something, it tends to expand and grow in the direction that you desire. When you focus on something. You focus on your net worth, it's going to expand and grow in the direction you desire. If you only focus on your income and you don't focus on your expenses or your net worth, you only focus on your income, guess what? Your income will grow. But who cares? So what? Your income grows. You make $500,000 a year. Whip-de-doo. How much do you spend every year? Right? What is your expenses? What is your liabilities? Right? What are they? You need to be able to tell me right now today. If I ask you and I had a conversation with you one-on-one, you should be able to tell me how much you owe and what's your liabilities. What's your liability side of your net worth equation look like? Let me know. What's the figure, right? You should tell me that right off the bat. And I should ask you, hey, what are your assets worth? Boom. Here they are right here. I got them on spreadsheet. Boom, boom, boom. 95% of the people I've talked to about their money, and I've done hundreds and hundreds of one-on-ones, free for $25 and for $300. I've done hundreds of them. Very, 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 very few people can tell me that information. If you want to win with your money and you're 40 years old or older, you got to have the answers. You got to know your numbers, right? You got to know your numbers. Your net worth is more important than your income. Very important. Now, number seven. I'm going to jump in the chat here and do a little Q&A afterwards, but this is just part one. We're going to jump into some more grown folk talk about money next Saturday, okay? Because I had a bunch of these, but I said, you know what? I'm going to break it up. I'm not going to do all of them today because I'd be sitting here talking all day, and I don't want to do that. But the number 7 is just kind of what I alluded to. People that have money paid attention to the money. When you get to be 40 years old, please start paying attention to your money. That's number 7. Please pay attention to the money, right? It matters. If nothing else, it matters to the people that may inherit your money behind you. If you don't care about you, that's cool. But it may matter to the people who you're going to be leaving the money to. Pay attention to the money. In other words, have an estate plan. In other words, have some life insurance. I prefer term insurance. Don't beat me up in the comments, but I prefer term insurance. Have an estate plan, have some term insurance, and let everybody know where all this stuff is located, right? Have a power of attorney, a will, all that stuff is under an estate plan. You need to pay attention to the money. Again, paying attention to the money and worshiping the money are two totally separate things. Don't get them confused. Just because I'm saying pay attention to the money doesn't mean I'm saying money is the most important thing and worship the money. No, not at all. But you got to focus on it because you use it every day, because the money is going to help you take care of money things when you get older. When you get 65, you got to pay rent or mortgage, or if not rent and mortgage, you got to eat. When you get 65 years old, you need food, right? And if you need food at 65, you got to be paying attention to the money at 45. Maybe you weren't at 25. That's cool. A lot of us weren't. I know I wasn't. I didn't get my money situation right until I was well over 30 years old, right? But so if you're 25 and watching this, congratulations. You're on the right path. You're listening to the right things and you're taking in the right information. Congratulations. If you're 40, 35, 40, 45 years old, remember what I'm telling you. You got to pay attention to it. It's very, very important because it's going to help you live a more quality life as you get older if you pay attention right now. And who doesn't want a quality 55, 65, 75-year-old life? All of us do, right? But if you turn a blind eye to the money at 50, you're going to be focusing really hard on the money when you're 70. But if you focus real hard on the money at 50, you can chill out a little bit when you get 70. Now, you can take that 20-year span and move it wherever. If you focus real hard on the money at 30, you can chill a little bit at 50. If you focus real hard on the money at 40, you can chill a little bit at 60, 70, 80, right? But you got to spend some time putting some attention towards it, right? It's very, very important, guys. Let's jump in the chat, see what you guys are talking about. I'm going to scroll back up just a little bit and catch you guys. I'm probably going to miss a few. Don't beat me up. Let's see here. Use income to purchase assets that make money for you. I like that, Graybeard. Absolutely. We on this channel talk about using your money to purchase assets that are going up in value, not on things that are going down in value, right? Somebody said, this is why I like your, thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate that. And I'm just talking to the regular person. This is a regular guy talking to regular people about something we all use every single day, which is money, right? Let's see. Somebody said Matthew 25:14. I got to go to that. I'm not sure what that scripture means. Trusty spreadsheet. Always have a spreadsheet. I got three main spreadsheets: budget, net worth statement, and some other expense statements, right, for my business, right? But I do everything on a spreadsheet, or sometimes I do it by hand okay, this is something I don't really say very much, but from one of the things I did from 1992, was it 92 or 94? I think it was 1992. 1992 up until today, I never missed a month doing a monthly budget. I have not missed a month doing a written monthly budget. Up until 2017, I did them on notebook paper. Dead serious. No joke. What they say? No cap. Is that what they say nowadays? No, I haven't missed a month of budgets since the early 90s. 300 something budgets in a row, written down in front of me. I focused on the money when I didn't have money, right? A lot of you know my story. At 30 years old, I had a negative 30,000 net worth to my name. Let's see here. I understand now that at this time in my life that being humble is a gift. Absolutely. I realize it also comes with boundaries. It took me a long time. Thanks for sharing that, Cheryl, in the comment section. What is my views on traveling while remaining frugal? My thing is this: plan your travel. I did a video about this a while back. Plan your travel and travel light, travel frugal. You can do it. A lot of people travel light, right? A lot of people do, pet sit and house sit, and they get a chance to stay in a place for free. And you ain't gotta break a, arm and a leg just to go ahead and travel. I don't mind travel, but just travel light and frugal, as frugal as possible, and then plan it out very well as well, right? Yeah, I don't want you to be. I don't mind traveling. Just travel right. Travel within your means, right? Within your means. Don't travel and then you can't pay the rent when you get home, or don't travel and you don't have an emergency fund when the tires go out the week after you return from your trip, right? If you have your basis covered in life when it comes to your money, meaning you have an emergency fund, you've paid down your debt, and you then travel. It's okay. I'm not against that. I'm not the person that says never travel. No, I travel, but travel frugally. All right. Good question, though. I appreciate you asking that question, Xavier. Let's see. 57 years old, have 200K and a 401K, which is much in America. I moved to the Philippines, living off 1,200 a month, living like a king. I bet you are. Congratulations to you for What Time Is It Travels. What Time Is It Travels. Yeah, good. Congratulations for you for living in the Philippines cheap. Let's see here. You better. I mean, 200K isn't much in America. It's not really much, but you 200K is nothing to bat an eye about. There's a lot of people don't have 200K. So personal finance is personal. I would never rain on somebody's parade who say I saved up $200,000 for my retirement. That's cool, right? That's more than a lot of people. So yeah, that's fine. You can do a lot of things with 200K if you want to stretch it out, right? The way you pull the money out at a certain rate, 4%, 3% rate. Let's see. Ill flow, appreciate it, Chris. If someone on furniture, I think is what they're saying, but they said you can pay 4,000 instead of 7K, and you're getting 10K in tax, but you got kids instead of paying off monthly. I'm lost, but I will be out of debt. I'm lost with what that comment is, NW. Let's see. Help me out. Restate that. Let's see. Oh, by the way, I'm Cheryl. Good. Lafayette, Louisiana. Good to have you here, right? Not sure what parish that's in. I'm 44, have yet to make more than 35K. I need help finding a career now. My Modest Life. You need to check out my video about 3 or 4 videos ago. Go to my videos. I did a video, and in that video, I listed, I think, 7 or 8 careers to help you make more money that are going to be in demand. Careers that you should be looking into if you want to make more money. And the beauty of the ones I mentioned in that video is you don't have to have a college degree. These are careers that you don't have to have a college degree, and they're in demand, and you can make 6 figures. You can make 7 figures, to be honest with you, if you want, with those careers. So go check out that video, my modest life. You'll like that, right? There's some good stuff in there. Somebody says, Dad recently passed away. Sorry to hear about that, Robert, and didn't take heed to suggestions and left us with his funeral expenses as well as taking care of mother. So, Robert, sorry to hear about that, Robert, but that's why this information is so very important. When you get 40, please make sure you have a will, you have an estate plan, you have powers of attorney, directors, whatever your state calls it, right? You have those things in place, and it's the best money you will spend. Because when you start accumulating money, you got to start figuring out what you're going to do with that money if something happens to you. That's why you want to have life insurance. That's why you want to have an estate plan, right? Those things are really important, right? Let's see. Appreciate that, Doris. Can you talk about REITs, real estate investment trust? The only thing I want to say about REITs, Anthony, is no research the REIT. Know what they're investing in. If you're trying to invest in REITs, understand if they're doing strip malls, if they're doing hospitals, if they're doing warehouses. Know what their investing is. Understand what their investment strategy is in the REIT, and go for it. Nothing wrong with REITs. Good way to have some real estate and not actually own or have to turn a wrench, right? Speaking of real estate, I got to turn a wrench. I have a few pieces of real estate. One's empty, but about to be filled right now. Let's see here. Coming out of Spanaway, Washington. Good to have you, Robert. Let's see. How can I pay off my house significantly early so I can increase my net worth? Larry, there's a lot of ways you can do it. You can pay an extra payment a year. If you get a tax return, which I don't recommend you get a large tax return, right? Because I don't want the government keeping your money for a year and giving you back the money with no interest, and also when it's worth less money because of inflation. So I don't want you getting a big tax return. But if you get $1,000 in tax return, use it to make an extra payment per year. I think if you have a 30-year mortgage, you pay one extra payment a year. I think it knocks six or 7 years off the total payment of the property. So now you pay it off in 23 years. But here's my suggestion. I suggest people get a 15-year note. If you're buying a house at 40 years old, you get a 15-year note. Yes, it's going to stretch beyond, and it's going to stretch you further. It's going to stretch you further if you have to go and get a 15-year note, right? It means your payment's not going to be $1,800 a month. It's going to be $2,300 a month. I get it. It's going to stretch you a little further. Here's why, though. Here's why. Now, if you can't do it, you don't want to do it, you can't afford a 15-year note, maybe you need to have less house. Something to think about. Nobody talks about that, right? You're looking at the $400,000 house and you can't afford the 15-year payment. But if you got a $300,000 house, you could afford a 15-year payment, right? So maybe you need to come down in house. I'm just saying, if you don't want to do it, you want to do a 30 and pay extra, that's cool too, right? Personal finance is personal. I don't have a whole lot of hard and fast rules, right? But 15-year note at the age of 40 means when you're 55, you have a $400,000, $300,000 asset that's paid for. That's on the asset side of your equation. Now you have choices. See, because when you have a lot of assets, you have choices. When you don't have a lot of assets and you have a low net worth because you didn't focus on it, guess what happens? You don't have very many choices. Now you got to work. Now you got to pay the mortgage. But if you have a paid for mortgage at 55 years old, you got a house that you can keep, live in, you can rent it out, you can sell it. There's so many things you can do. Now you have choices when you have assets. That's why I suggest a 15-year. But if you can't, that's cool. Get a 30, pay a little bit extra on it, and you knock it down and pay it off quicker. Let's see. Is real estate like owning a home part of your net worth? The equity is your net worth, is part of your net worth. So this is a real simple way to do it. Put how much the property is worth on your asset side. Put how much you owe on your liability side, right? The difference is going to be the equity. So the equity is an asset. It should be included in your net worth. Yes. Let's see that labor extra principal payments. Yes. Thanks. I appreciate you guys answering the questions in here in the chat as well. I appreciate you guys doing that because I don't have all the answers, guys. I don't know everything. I'm just a regular guy. I know a few things based on what I've done and so forth, and I try to help other people. But you guys have a lot more experience, not experience, but you have a lot more. You have more knowledge to add to the conversation. So I appreciate you guys doing that so much, helping each other out in the chat. Let's see. I use Quicken. This app has a budget network. Absolutely. And somebody asked me before, I don't use any software to manage my money. Okay. I don't have any type of templates. I make up my own budget template, my own net worth template. And I don't really follow any others. So you can always do that too if you don't want to buy a template or something like that. Let's see here. Someone okay, here NW said it again. If someone owe $7K on furniture, but they said you can pay $4K now, you're getting $10K in tax, but you got kids instead of paying off monthly. I'm confused, but I will be out of debt if you do. I still don't quite understand what you're trying to say, but pay off the furniture. If you got debt on furniture, pay off the furniture. Don't carry debt on furniture. Okay. Don't do it. Right. Tell the kids, wait, we get you clothes next month. We get you clothes in 3 months. We get you some new shoes in 3 months. Let's go to the thrift store and let's find some kids' shoes for you at the thrift store, Goodwill, Salvation Army, and then we'll go ahead and pay off this furniture. I'm serious. That's what you got to do sometime when you're struggling. You got to do what you got to do. Don't be afraid to walk into a thrift store and buy some clothes from a thrift store if you got to do it. Right. You do what you got to do. Let's see. I know people who don't like unsolicited advice. Gen B, you're absolutely right. but I wish someone came to me years ago with advice. I'm good now, wanting to help my younger friends, but no one wants to listen. Listen, Gen B, I don't know why your question came up right there, but guess what, Gen B? This video today was going to be about that very thing. That's really interesting. I was going to do a video. I may do it here in the next week or two about how do you talk to people about money who don't want to hear you about money? What do you do? So, Gen B, lock in, subscribe to this channel. Check out my next few lives in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to do a live about that because as you get older with money, guys, you want to pass some of this information on. And you may not have a YouTube channel to do it, right? You may just have friends or family that are around you. You got to figure out how can you begin to talk to people about money. And maybe you don't talk to them, Gen B. Maybe you don't say anything to them. You just become an example. You just do the right things with money and you don't give unsolicited advice. Or if you feel like you can, there's a lot of ways to go with that. Gen B, stay tuned. Thanks for asking that question. I really appreciate it. Somebody said, Black Sheep Can't Convo. Just found your page, learning a lot. 29, going debt free. Congratulations to you. The sooner you get out of debt, the better you be. It's hard. You're right. It's hard, but it must be done. God is the greatest. Thank you, King. Thank you, Black Sheep. I appreciate you being here. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. If you haven't hit the like button, please smash the like button. Hit the thumbs up for me, guys. This common sense approach to money, 40 years old and, want to win with money. This is what you got. This is the things you got to know. Part one, this is the stuff that regular, normal people who are not caught up in IG and the fancy and the lifestyle, right? This is just regular people want regular information from other regular people who have won with money, who are winning with money, right? Now we have a bunch of them in the chat and you're listening to somebody that really has turned his situation around with money. And I'm just trying to pass this information on. And you know how they say, pay it forward. That's all I want to do is pay it forward, right? You don't have to do a one-on-one with me, no strategy session. I'm not going to sell you a course. I'm not going to sell you. I have a couple of books on Amazon, right? I'm not selling you anything. In the description box, there's a free 24 Laws of Money ebook. There's a link to it in the description box. Also, my partner on here, I don't want to forget to mention Mint Mobile, right? I should have mentioned them earlier, but Mint Mobile is my partner. And if you this channel is all about saving money. If you want to save money on your wireless and get premium wireless, Mint Mobile is very solid. I've had them for several months and I've had no issues, no problems, and their customer service is always right there, right? And it's a lot less money to have Mint Mobile. When we get older, guys, you know what happens to us, right? We stay in that cell phone plan that we had for 20 years, and all of a sudden, there's way more options out there that are less expensive and better quality. And so we forget to say, okay, let me go back to my insurance company and let me see if I can get a better rate. Because I've been with you guys for 15 years, or I've had this cell phone service, AT&T, for 15 years. Let me see what Mint Mobile has to offer. And you end up finding out that there's cheaper options out there, but because we've been chilling on our stuff for so long, we got too comfortable. So I get solicitations every day from people that want to partner with me, but I don't partner with many, right? So Mint Mobile is down there as well in the description box. The point is, I'm not selling you anything, guys. I'm just trying to get you better. I'm just trying to get you to a point where you're winning with money. Surprise, surprise. Somebody on YouTube who doesn't sell a course. Nothing wrong with selling courses if you sell courses. I'm not mad at you. But I don't have that to sell you guys. That's not what I do, right? I'm just here to give information. Kimmy said, I'm not traveling away from my state this year so I can pay off my debts. Congratulations, Kimmy. Let us know. Kimmy, come back on here when you pay off your debt and give us a report. Let me know how it goes and how it went. I'm curious to see or hear, right? Let's see. I don't care if you went to Antarctica. You went, not me. I'm not sure what that means. I have a lot of student loan debt. It seems that I'll never get out of debt. Dark Man Jeff, you just got to have a plan. You got to work a plan. A great plan is the debt snowball. Check it out. I've done a bunch of videos about it. You can check it out on my channel or anywhere. Go anywhere. I don't care where you go. You don't have to watch my videos, right? Go to Google it. See how to do it. The debt snowball. Please go check that out because that's going to help you get out of debt faster. Don't do what I did when it comes to student loan debt and keep it and let it hang around for so long. Please don't do that. Learn from my mistake, right? Let's see here. Somebody said differences between income and net worth. Income is what you bring in. Net worth is the net result of what you keep. Income is just what you bring in. Net worth is the net result of what you keep, right? Very big difference. You can't pass along net income. When you die, your salary dies. But when you die, your net worth can get moved along to a loved one, moved along to a friend, moved along to a church or somebody or an organization or a museum or whatever, right? You can't pass along income, right? Income, it don't even mean a whole lot, to be honest with you. It doesn't mean a whole lot. Let's see. Gen B, Sally, people are in the, okay. That's why, listen, thank you. What time is it, Travels? I appreciate that. Thank you for being here, hanging in this with Miss Reynolds in the house. Good to have you. What time? Okay. Let's say net worth is assets minus liability. Absolutely. Thanks for responding to that. Zach said Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going up right now. It's blowing up. Ethereum is blowing up. They're all blowing up. Congratulations to the Bitcoin people that invest in it. Frankly, I don't have much Bitcoin. I think 0.05% is what mine is the result of is my portfolio, right? I got a little bit of Bitcoin, but I got a little bit more Ethereum. That's it. I don't dig into the Bitcoin. That's okay if you do. I'm not mad at you. I'm not putting you down if you do Forex and day trade and options and Bitcoin and Shiba Inu, whatever. I don't care. That's fine. You can do whatever you want to do. Everybody is different. Your risk tolerance is not the same as mine. Just make sure you diversify. Don't have all your money in Bitcoin, please. Taxes will be 10K. Let's see here. Okay. Taxes will be 10K. I have kids, but the furniture I pay monthly, I owe 7K. But they told me if I pay 4K, I won't have to pay. I have kids, I need money, but I will be out of debt. NW, don't have debt on furniture. Pay off the furniture. I hope that helps. That's my opinion, okay? Just if you can, try to pay that furniture off. When you get your taxes, if you get a big tax return, pay it off. Let's see here. I don't have any assets, but I paid off all my debt. Congratulations, Sandy. That's all right. You're not starting the negative. I'm working on my emergency fund, haven't started investing. Sandy, you're okay. Right where you are, Sandy. You got all of your debt paid off. Congratulations. That's step number 1. Or step 2, you're working on step 2 with the emergency fund. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. Don't watch these videos and get down on yourself or upset. Your time is coming, Sandy. All you got to do is keep going. Go ahead and get your emergency fund paid off. And then you can take all that money that you were paying on debt and you were paying on emergency, and you can now throw all of it at investing. And you can become wealthy, Sandy. I'm not sure your age, Sandy, but you can become wealthy. All right. You got this. And you got a cheerleader in me. I'm here for you, man. Let's see, or man or woman, not sure what Sandy is, but that's okay. Do you help people work out real estate deal numbers? Absolutely. I've been having real estate since for the last 23 years, I've owned real estate. So if you want to run some numbers by me, we do a one-on-one. Yes, we can look at your deals, analyze your deals, see what your ROI is and all that good stuff. See if it's worth it, right? And I can prepare you for real estate, right? Now, I don't do big deals. I can do some deals that are big, but mostly it's single family homes and apartments, et cetera. So, but if you're trying to buy something for 35 million, you need an attorney, right? Let's see here. Financing is bad at times because of interest. Just pay it off and just pay it one time. Yeah, I agree with that. NW, you're right. Let's see. Do you help with? Okay, see, good job. Do you use software for real estate management? No, I don't. See, I only have 2 rental properties at this point. Had more, but I only have 2 rental properties. Because I only have 2 rental properties, I don't need any. I don't feel like I need. Now, I may down the road, I may use some. I know there's some great software out there. I've also heard a lot of issues with software out there as well, but I don't use anything currently. Knowledge lender. Let's see. Pay off. Somebody said pay off the furniture. Yes. Let's see here. Oh, I might skip a 1 or 2. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm kind of behind. Miss Rose. Boom, boom, boom. Somebody said, does a defined pension benefit enter into the calculation of net worth? If you want to enter it, matey, I don't typically put a pension into a net worth calculation because how long you live and receive the money from that pension is unknown, right? You might have a pension and you might be figuring your net worth, and then you have a pension and you say, well, I'm going to get $30,000 a year from my pension. Well, then you say, I'm going to live 10 years, and that's $300,000. You don't know that you're going to live 10 years. So I don't like to add a pension into the calculation of a net worth. I like to keep it separate. I like to keep the pension as sort of like a cherry on top, right? The icing on the top. So I don't put the pension in with the calculation of net worth because you don't know how long you're going to live and receive that pension. Let's see here. Do you believe in moving in silence with your money? T-Bone 21, of course. Quiet money. Shh. Quiet with money. Don't be loud with money, right? One, you draw attention to yourself. Two, you can bring out a lot of haters when you flash your money. But yes, you want to really, it's about being humble, and it's about humility, and it's about understanding that there's a lot of people hurting with money. So there's no need to be flashy with money. There's no need to be flashy. I'm not saying you don't want to buy good stuff or have quality stuff. I'm just saying, just understand your surroundings, right? Right? I don't want to have I'm just not that type of person. Some people like to buy expensive stuff, and I'm not mad at you if you do and you can afford it. That's cool, but it's just not me. I'm a much more humble person. Let's see here. Peace to you, Kendrick. I appreciate you. I thought I was subscribed because I watch all your videos on my feed. Thank you, Jen B, for subscribing. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you subscribing. Guys, please smash that like button for me. We should have a whole bunch of likes on this thing, guys, because we're giving out the right information about money, the down-to-earth information about money. If you're 21 watching this, I'm not mad at you, but this is really grown folk money. Grown folk money, if that makes any sense. We talked about 7 things on this video. We said everyone not interested in is not interested in your success with money. Everybody don't care. The people you think would care, they don't care, right? The second thing we said is the best things in life don't have to cost money. They really don't. Grown folk talk about money. We know that the most important things in life are not money, and they don't cost money. In about 30 minutes, I'm going to be outside getting some sunshine and walking. That's a beautiful thing. Number 3, we said take full 100,000% responsibility for your actions and inactions with money. Very important. That's your power. Don't stop blaming people about money. Please don't do it. Number 4, we said tell yourself no. Number 5, we said listen to other people's mistakes. Number 6, we said your net worth is more important than your income. And number 7, we said people that have money paid very, very close attention to the money. Very close attention to the money. Somebody said, how do I stop the president's inflation from eating away the value of my money? Nothing you can do about it, Zach. You can't control inflation. Why are you worried about something you don't control? Stop worrying about something you don't control. That's the first thing you can do. Stop worrying about something that you have zero control over. You're just stressing yourself out for no reason. So you can't stop the president. I don't think it's the president's inflation. It's just inflation in general. You can't stop it. Nothing you can do about it. But you're a consumer and you make conscious decisions every single day. That's what you can do something about. CLM says, I'll be 40 next year. I need to be on my A game. Absolutely. Great beard, plan, patience, time. Somebody said Dave Ramsey. Somebody said 46 and working on the win. You got this. You can do it. Rebel and Boltman. Explore minimalism. Very important. Give it a shot. Minimalism. It's not about what you make. It's about what you keep and invest. Definitely get an estate plan. Deanna Russ, you said it right there. You said a mouthful right there, right? Very important. Somebody said QQQ, VOO, SPI. Those are good. Listen, guys, I'm not going to belabor the point. We've been on here a while. This is part 1. Next Saturday, we're digging into part 2. Part 2, 40 years old, and you want to win with money, that this is what you need to do and need to know. Today is part 1. Next Saturday is part 2. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't hit the like, press the thumbs up. If you got in here late, rewind this thing to the beginning. Let it play while you go to the gym today. Let it play while you do something, you cut the grass, whatever you do. Let it play. Things you need to do with your money. It's motivation, it's inspiration, and it's encouragement. And I appreciate you guys in the chat throwing all of that wonderful information in the chat, right? So I'm going to go ahead and jump off here, guys. Don't forget to check the description box below for free stuff, free 24 Laws of Money, free Mint Mobile link. Try them out. Give them a shot. Guys, as always, I appreciate you guys more than you know joining me on this Saturday. We're here on Saturday mornings, 11 o'clock a.m. We're here on Thursdays at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to try to give you guys something to think about differently with money. Down to earth, in plain language, to the point. This one was for my grown folks, my people that are 35 years old and up, that need to know these things about money. I got a whole series of stuff for the millennials and the young people, right? But this is for the older folks. I appreciate you guys more than you know. Thank you for being here, and drop a comment. Leave me a comment. If you have a question, I try to answer my questions on my lives all the time, guys. So listen, the best person who's going to take care of the old you is the young you. Do me a favor, take good care of yourself, but also don't forget to take care of other people. Until the next video, the next live. Peace.